Deante, how are you doing?
Hey Taylor, what's going on?
Good.
Hi, Deante.
Welcome
Hey
to
Taylor, what's going on? Thank you.
welcome to our Give Kids the World live stream. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I think this is awesome. This is a great cause, and Give Kids the World is an awesome place, and so this is such a great opportunity for everyone to, contribute to such an amazing place.
Well, thank you. Yeah. We got to visit the Give Kids the World Village not that long ago, and it was really cool, right there in Orlando. Have you been out to it yet? I know you're based in Orlando now, right?
Yes, I am based in Orlando.
Yeah, and that's not too far away. That's just like right there in Kissimmee.
No,
I'm curious,
yeah.
what is your commute to work? Because I know everything else is like right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's just say I'm less than 15 minutes. I'm lucky enough I don't have to worry about I-4.
Okay.
See,
Hey.
that right there is a blessing, because that road is
Travel
a
along
nightmare.
that road.
Now, I will say, somebody brought this up in the chat. There will be spoilers for Velocicoaster on here, so if you have not ridden it yet and you do not want to know, you should probably mute. Because that is literally all we're going to be talking about for the next 15 minutes.
So Deante, I'd love to know a little bit about yourself. So tell us, like, where are you from, and what did you go to school with to get to kind of where you're at now?
So I'm actually from the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. So for people who are from that area, I'm actually from Northern Virginia. I was born in Arlington, Virginia.
Hey, Virginia,
I grew
represent.
up in that area. And so Virginia is definitely my home state. I grew up going to parks like Kings Dominion, and back then, what is now known as Six Flags America, it was Wild World and Adventure World and so forth. So definitely, was able to visit a lot of the Mid-Atlantic parks. I ultimately went to Boston University up in Massachusetts, where I got my degree in mechanical engineering. So I got my bachelor's there, and kind of the rest is history. I ended up doing a few internships in operations, and worked at a few different Six Flags parks throughout the country. I worked at Six Flags Great America out in Gurnee, Illinois, starting way back in 2008. It was awesome. My first coaster that I got to operate was Vertical Velocity, actually.
Wow.
Which I guess looks like it's about to be turned into something, that's more reminiscent of the Flash, possibly. We'll see. But the next park I had to work at was Six Flags New England. It was an awesome park in Agawam, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And then I finally came back home towards the hometown area and actually did a season at Six Flags America. Ultimately, all that preceded formally going into the engineering career, but very much so still was much more or less an enthusiast, very much enthused and interested in the theme park industry. So I was working in the defense industry, being from DC, as you guys know, that's the hub of everything with government and whatnot. But ultimately ended up getting my career launched through that avenue. But the funny thing is, even though I was a full-time engineer in defense, I still worked weekends at Six Flags America right over there in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And so it was very much so in my DNA. Ultimately, just continuing to push forward and got to have some amazing opportunities thanks to my contacts at Six Flags. Was able to go down to, for those who have not heard about it, there's a lot of different awesome seminars and symposiums and events that take place in the industry. So for those who might be interested, I recommend you look up events like AIMS, which
I've
is
heard of
the
that.
Amusement Industry Manufacturing Suppliers Safety Seminar that's held every year. There's, of course, IAPA, which just happened, of course. But then there's also ASTM F24, which is a committee that essentially focuses on all the standards that, govern our industry. And so it's an awesome place to network, learn a lot, and also ultimately, meet a lot of like-minded individuals who share that same enthusiasm for this industry.
That's amazing, because funny enough, I actually had a question from somebody. They wanted to hear what kind of advice you had for someone who wanted to work in the field, and you just nailed it. Like, you just gave great advice for people to get involved.
Awesome. Yeah, so ultimately I ended up at Universal Creative, which is a company I've always wanted to work for. I think a lot of people probably saw early back in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was that famous documentary that covered the making of Islands of Adventure, and that really inspired me back then. So to work for the same company in the capacity as those individuals who inspired me is a pretty awesome opportunity. So been with Universal almost 7 years now. So
that's so cool, man.
Pretty awesome time.
Living the dream. I love it. Yeah, we love Universal over here. So obviously we got to talk about it. Velocicoaster is basically the talk of the year. You guys just had a freaking a bit done on NBC Peacock about it. Like this is like the hottest thing. So what was your involvement I know, what was your involvement in the project?
So my involvement in the project is I am one of many engineers who supported this project, but my main role is I was mainly the lead engineer for the Jurassic World Velocicoaster. So my involvement, goes back to the very beginning when we were envisioning what this might and could be, all the way through, bringing it to life and completing the commissioning and opening it up to the public.
Dude, that's awesome.
That is so cool.
I gotta ask, what is it like knowing that something you've worked on has been so, well, pun intended, universally loved?
The feeling is something I don't know how to put into words. I think a lot of people are awestruck, but myself included, I believe it is more than we could have ever asked for. It definitely hoped for it. We knew that it was going to be something special, but I did not know it was going to be as special as it was. You can imagine the team, there's so many individuals who poured their hearts out, not just me, into this project. And especially building a world-class roller coaster like Velocicoaster in unprecedented times, as we all just experienced and are still going through. It is one for the books because, it was both a challenge, but it was also the response. It was you guys, the enthusiast group in the community, who was pouring in. There were so many posts and so many people looking forward to it, and we drew upon that energy. So like the experience is like no other, and I think we have been able to just get goosebumps. I still get it to this day when I'm on the platform, and just without even any kind of prompting. There's some attractions where the people come back and you have the attendants, they're clapping, and then everyone on the train claps.
Yeah.
Velocicoaster is a little different. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Oh yeah.
Before the train is even like into the first block break, it is
everyone going nuts.
It's applause, full out applause and cheers, and it's every train, every single time. It is something that, like I said, it exceeded my wildest imagination on what this would feel like. It is definitely it makes me speechless, honestly, every time I think about it, from opening day even to now.
Dude, yeah, that is surreal.
It is so rare to have a roller coaster that does not have some divisive, argument about it. But I feel like it's so universally loved. Not to make a pun again, but I haven't heard anyone get off and be like, that was lame, or that didn't live up to my expectations. And I'm not just talking about enthusiasts. I listen, and I think Taylor probably does too. When we get off the ride, we listen to people around us, and they are all just mind blown that something like that exists. So bravo to you guys, seriously. Some of the donations we got for you were literally just people wanting to say thank you. People just saying thank you for, knocking out of the park and for, helping me get into roller coasters. And some people just saying how many times they've ridden it. We have a friend that's ridden it over 200 times already, which is kind of insane. What's your count at now? I know it's ridiculous.
How many rides do you have on this thing?
So I am over 300 rides on this. And I think myself and a few of the other engineers, we used to pride ourselves of being kind of the leaders on that board. But one of our technicians who are, as part of our awesome tech services team, working day in and day out to keep this attraction, running. I just found out he's close to 475 rides.
Oh my god!
So he's taking the cake for sure. But it is amazing. There's not a moment where I ride that, even though I'm so many rides in, where I'm not still thrilled to this day. I still get off sometimes like, did we just build that?
I can't imagine that feeling.
It is definitely a ride that I'm both was very passionate about when it came to the design and engineering of, but is just as passionate as an enthusiast and who's fallen in love with it as an attraction.
Oh, absolutely. So did you have a favorite part of creating the ride, and then like actually with the ride itself? What was your favorite part?
Oh, the favorite part of creating the ride, I think it had to go back to, I think it was the moment that we locked the layout for the attraction.
Mm-hmm.
The team had been working for a while, and we have some very talented individuals, attraction designers, and our team. And as we kind of sealed that moment and we locked that what this was going to be, I think that was the moment where everyone looks at each other, is that pause and that actualization, like this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But this is so many years before where you can't say anything. Only a small group of people know that this is going to happen. And I mean the sealing that in, and that's when this is what it's going to be. We knew all the kind of forces that we were expecting to get out of certain moments. I think that's been compared to, you fast forward 3.5 years and here we are taking that first ride. That was, unparalleled. And
I'm getting chills just listening to you.
Be that, not only the coaster nerd, but also be the engineer who is there when we locked all that detail into the layout, and to realize and actualize all that as we were riding that first time. I would be lying if I would say my eyes weren't a little misty at the end of that experience, so that very first inaugural ride. So,
dude, I didn't even have a part in the ride, and I cried after we got off.
Moment I will never forget. And as part of that moment, I remember going through what I believe is the crown element, so much so that we had to give it a unique name, which is the Mosasaurus roll. That was the moment that I had been hoping for, and I thought it was going to be great, but it is even greater than what I thought. I mean, that ride, that element alone seals the deal for that ride.
Oh yeah, I would argue it's the single greatest inversion on any ride. Period.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Period.
And we have a comment here from
awesome to hear.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know Sean Flaherty. He's he commented and said you got to work with a very good friend of his, Keith McVean.
Keith and I have a funny story because I grew up admiring Keith's work since before I was with Universal. So for our paths to cross here at Universal Creative was just an awesome feat. So when it came down to being paired with him on the Jurassic Velocicoaster, that was, one of those moments where it's like I'm working with the Keith McVean, and it's been an awesome team. I love the Jurassic Velocicoaster team. Everyone is so talented and poured their hearts into this project. So again, it's one for the books for me. I will never forget it.
Yeah, it was really cool being there on the first day of everything and seeing you guys out there, meeting Shelby and Greg and everyone. The nerd in me wants to know. I love those Jurassic films. Did you get to meet Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard?
I literally knew you were gonna ask.
I love the pre-show. Did you get to meet him?
No, I have not had the pleasure of meeting them yet, but I know myself and the team would love to, and we're hoping one day that they will be able to take part in the experience as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you get to work for Universal Creative, but you're obviously passionate about theme park and ride design. If you could do a ride for any park in the world, what would it be and what would you do?
Wow. That's a hard question.
It's a hard one, right?
I'm going to go with considering that I am from Virginia, and we grew up going to Kings Dominion. I know you go to Kings Dominion.
I like where this is going. Keep talking. I like this.
And a very prized mountain was recently taken down. I would love to be a part of whatever opportunity there might be to figure out what's going back in its place. I mean, that mountain has been around since I was a little kid, Smurf Mountain.
Yeah.
I think everyone would agree that would be an awesome, new attraction to re-envision and figure out what we could do there.
Absolutely. I low-key was hoping you were going to give that answer, because that's like something that I've literally been thinking about since the moment they said it was closed. And I'm like, they got to do something good. Like, you don't take down Volcano.
Because I can't bring myself to look over there and accept that it's no longer there.
Dude, it's depressing.
I never even got to ride it, man. If you want to talk depressing.
That ride is so sentimental to me. And so, yeah, I hope that whatever replaces it is a good one. So that's a great answer. So you mentioned earlier how you've worked at, a lot of different places. I would love to know, what are you most proud of? And if the answer is Velocicoaster, then something else. But because obviously I know you're like super proud of that. But I'd love to hear something that, like, you got to work on that, like, you really were just like thrilled with how everything went.
I mean, I have to say I'm most proud of Velocicoaster. I mean, that's a given. That's just the something that has been my childhood dream of mine. So to manifest that is, again, I can't really top that. But I would say just as big was the opportunity to work on Universal's Volcano Bay water theme park.
Wow.
As that park, I mean, who builds a 200-foot, talking about volcanoes coming down, who builds a 200-foot tall volcano, in this day and age? So to be a part of that, to shape that skyline and change, what the look of Orlando is. I mean, you go coast down I-4 and a massive volcano that, erupts 150 feet, in the air. So you're topping out 350 feet in the air with that large eruption. I think that water park just changed the game in terms of what the experience is for an immersive water park experience, especially with the virtual queue and the theme of that park. So I think it took water parks to a different scale and immersion. So it's very much an equally cool project. I think for those who have not had the chance, or those who have, I mean, you're essentially it's an escape. I mean, you really. From the time you come into the park and you get that grand reveal, I mean, it is such a beautiful place to be and just to relax and enjoy.
That is so cool. Yeah, I love it. I mean, every time we're driving to Universal, we just pass that volcano right there on the left. It's like so wild looking that you're just on I-4 and that's Orlando for you, though, I guess. Just like crazy things on every corner.
Oh, absolutely. It's the only thing good about I-4.
Keeps the scenery. So you're obviously a roller coaster enthusiast like the rest of us. What's a place that you haven't been to that you would love to visit?
So in terms of coasters, I really just want to go to Japan and do a Japan coaster trip. I am low-key jealous that you got to do one, before, and I would love to go. So maybe you guys can help me figure out where to go and how to navigate. But I'm looking for the craziest, most wackiest, extreme experiences out there. So go to Dionté. I want to get on that. The press that it's received makes me want to get on it even more. We were talking. I think I heard there was some talk about Ijanika. I want to get on that as well. Go to Fuji-Q, but ultimately also want to go to Universal Japan. Actually haven't been able to visit that park yet, and check out our new Nintendo world, because I think it just won a Thea Award, and it's an amazing land that has changed the game yet again. No pun intended.
No, absolutely.
It's funny because we were just on with Anthony Schwartz. I don't know if you were listening before, but he said the same thing, that he wanted to go to Japan. So I'm thinking you, me, and Anthony Schwartz all go to Japan without Taylor.
No.
And we're just going to keep building this group.
I'm down.
All right. Just to make him a little jealous.
No, but in all seriousness, you should go with Robbie Towns. I know he was talking about he wants to do a big trip like that too.
Yes.
So
you're still not invited.
I want to, dude. Literally, that'd be so cool. No, I love it. Those are some awesome places. Seriously, can't go wrong with
the jokes on the chat.
Yeah, I know.
My mom is even making fun of you. Thanks, mommy.
Yeah. All right. Well, Deante, this has been awesome. We really appreciate you coming on here to talk with us. We absolutely love Velocicoaster. I think everyone else who's watching this is in the same exact boat, and it's so cool getting to hear some of that process behind it and everything, and again, if anything, makes us appreciate it even more.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So to the Coaster Studios team and to all the other coaster enthusiasts or aspiring engineers out there, I mean, I speak for myself and the rest of the Universal Creative team. We see your comments, we see your enthusiasm, we love it, we appreciated it, especially during the construction of Jurassic World Velocicoaster, and we are thrilled that you all are receiving it so well. Hopefully those who have not had a chance can make it out here. If you haven't, also check out the new and the latest, recently released, the making of Jurassic World Velocicoaster, which you can stream on Peacock. And you can see a lot of the talented team here that was putting their hearts and soul into that project. And then thank you to you too as well for doing this. Again, please donate to this great cause. Give Kids the World is an amazing place, and it's through efforts like this that they can continue to do that amazing work. So again, thank you. Look, I think if I can do anything here, I just want to let everyone know, especially those who are looking to do what I do, you can make your dreams come true too. Velocicoaster definitely was my dream. So, for those out there, keep chasing it.
I love that. Oh, well, thank you so much, Deante. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know we'll see you real soon. So yeah, but
Absolutely.
if it's not before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, Happy Holidays, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.